Okay, we got it out. This is how I solved my broken bracket last time. I just put some JB weld in the rivet holes and put some clamps on it. I over tightened it right there on the bottom, as you can see, but it never leaked, so I was happy with that. And these little brackets right here, you may have to transfer them. If not, I would take them off and save them if you do mechanic work, because you always need them from time to time. And I dropped a little bit of oil. Doggone it, a little drop. All right. I'm not sure we're going to need these or the clips, but I'm going to go ahead and pull them off anyways for future in case I ever need them. Also, I'm going to save my clamps again. I'll make sure that this gets drained really well, and then it'll go in the garbage can. I may even just clean it out a little bit with some brake clean to, you know, help the environment a little bit there. All right, I got my package open, my little Dorman here. And looks like they were nice enough to go ahead and include the tips, all the bolt brackets, everything there. I don't like the fact that these have aluminum rivets, but that's all right. It'll probably still last longer than the car, or longer than I own the car. So these are kind of loose, but I'm sure they'll tighten up when I put them back in. All right, well, let's get this out and let's get this installed. All right, before I install this, I'm going to make sure that these are on really tight, because I don't want to be in there and just have them fall off like that. That's really easy. So the way you do that, you just grab a pair of pliers here and you kind of squish them closed here on the end where the bend is. And there you go. You just grab the pliers and you give them a little tweak, and that's about it. And just put them back on. All right, to get these back on, make sure you don't put it on this way, but you put it on this way, and just kind of squish it right there, and it might be a little tight. So with it on a little bit of an angle, then just tap it like that. And hold on to this. And bing, it's on. It's not coming off. All right, let me get all the other three done, then we'll get this installed. All right, while you're down here, make sure you clean your condenser, or, you know, anything that's big. Little stuff's not going to hurt like this, but if you got any big bugs or anything, wash it off real good with a toothbrush or something. So let's go ahead and let's get this transmission cooler in. And when you put your transmission cooler in, you'll notice that the anchor on the driver's side is offset. The offset goes towards the top, so like this. So let's get it in. All right, let's get this in here. You just slip it in here. Be careful, obviously, of your radiator and your condenser. Make sure you don't damage it. I'm going to go ahead and leave these on so I don't get dirt in them. We'll take them off after we get them in. And this needs to come down and into a little side bracket here. There we go. All right, now I'm going to go to the other side and put the bolt in. Just got to reach down in the hole here. Come over here on my left. All right, and you just pick up on the inside and push it over and put the bolt in here like this. This would probably be a good time to have a little extension and a little ratchet. So let me get these in, and then I'll show you the rest of it. I had it in, and I couldn't get the bottom bolt in, and then I realized that this one's a little bit wider. Part of it is because the Dorman is kind of bent in, but it's also it looks like it's short one bay too. So you got all the way over, and this one's got like an extra cooler on it. So what's going to happen is I'm going to have to bend this way a little bit, and then bend this one that way a little bit to come up with 1/8 of an inch on each side. The Dorman is 6.5 inches between holes, and the stock one is 6 3/4 inches between holes. So let me go ahead and get the Dorman bent up, and then we'll get it back in. To install this side, I ended up having to take this off. I just lifted up the whole assembly and then use an extension with a 10mm on it to get it into that hole down there. Got that almost in now. It's tightening up pretty good. This is where that ratchet wrench really comes in handy. If you don't have a set of these, either the DeWalt's or somebody else's, I really recommend you get them. I would buy the reversibles. They're almost twice as much, but if you get this tightened down into a spot you can't get it off, the only option is to break your wrench. So also don't use these to break nuts free or completely tighten them unless they're small. Use a regular brake wrench to break them free, and then use these. So let's get this all back together here. Alright, I got all the screws back in except for this one now, and don't forget you're gonna have to put this inside this rubber grommet area down here. Let me get this one tightened up, and we'll move over to the other side. Alright, there we go. Let's tighten up. Alright, let's go do the other side now. Alright, before we finish up, I want to show you that there's some bolt size differences. This one I actually trimmed a little bit. I probably trimmed it more than it needed to be. But the short ones go in here so that when they go through, they don't punch a hole in your condenser. The other long one goes in through here, and then the other one goes up in here. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get those bolts in the bottom, the top, and right here, and get our lines back on. Alright, I got all the bolts in, tightened down. So alright, now I have to get these lines on. Obviously put the bottom one on first. So, and don't forget to flush these with some clean fluid. I didn't show that. So anyways, let me get those on. Alright, I got the lines on and everything, and now we're gonna put the bumper cap back on it, which is basically just the opposite of taking it off. Let's get the bumper cap back on. Basically you just grab it right here. You go up underneath this right here, make sure both ends clear, and wiggle it on. Now you can come over to these ends over here and put these in place right there, and make sure you get your guide pin in. And while you're here, go ahead and put your bolt in here. Okay, get that screwed down, and then go to the other side and repeat the process. Alright, that's got it started. Now let's get this in here. That little hole right in there. And get your little guide pin up in here. So, alright, once you've got this lined in, then you can go ahead and put your 8mm on right down here in this section. Sorry about the focus there. And go ahead and tighten it up. And then do the same thing on this side over here. This little nut back in here. Right back there. Tighten those down. Alright, the little stubby ratchet works pretty good. We want to get those in. So now we can go get the bottom screws in. Alright, before you put this screw in, make sure you have this flap on the inside here. And you don't need to put these in until you get this in, so you can push it like that to have easier access to it. So let me get that in there for you. Alright, finish centering up here. Alright, let's get this off of here. Now you need to put these two screws in. Alright, get them both started before you tighten them down. That way you have a little bit of play room to play around with them. Alright, last one. Now all we got to do is put the clips in the bottom down here. Alright, if you're a bozo and you forgot to make sure that the bumper cap was over this piece, just go ahead and remove the bolts on this and tuck it in and put the bolts back in, and then put your clips in. Put all the screws back in the bottom. Now that you got all the screws and clips, now we can get our headlights in. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and put the light bulbs in. Let me show you how easy that is. You just grab this, push it on. Grab this one. Actually, I think it goes on this way. Sorry. Push it on. Now you slide it in with this tab on top. Just like that. Then you put your 4 8mm, or 3, I'm sorry, 3 8mm bolts in. While you're pulling up on this tab here. Get your trusty little stubby ratchet. Snug them up. Done. Headlights installed. Do the same thing on the other side, and that's it. Anyways, I want to thank you for watching. If this video helped you fix your transmission cooler, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. I do a lot of Caravan videos and some other things, as well as Ford F-350. I did a little bit of Nissan stuff, and I do some electronics and other things like that. So please subscribe, give me a thumbs up. This is Keith Nunya, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.